Hi from our stateroom on the cruise ship. It's absolutely fantastic. We just closed out our third day on the cruise. Tomorrow we dock in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. We're somewhere off the coast of Florida, like 1,000 probably miles, 1,200 miles. I think St. Martin is 1,500 miles off the coast. So we've had 2 days on the ocean. We had a week in Florida before that. We had a wedding reception, saw family I hadn't seen in forever, several very special, important friends. The group turned out to be perfect, the event perfect, which is rare that you can say that about an event of such sorts. But it was just intimate and precious, and I was so happy to see these people. I was literally crying when I saw them and crying when they went to go leave. So we had the reception. Thankfully, we still had a brunch the next day. I got more time with them, but it still didn't feel like enough because you're trying to split yourself between too many people. And it wasn't even that many people. I can't imagine if I had a group of 50 or 100. And so anyway, it ended up being really wonderful. But now we've gotten on the cruise, actually an Abraham Hicks cruise. So it's a Caribbean cruise, which is great with celebrity cruises, but also it's an Abraham cruise. It's their spring Caribbean cruise. And so we had our second session with Abraham today, and I'm always blown away just at the message, even though I spend a lot of time listening to Abraham. If you don't know who Esther Hicks is or Abraham and you're curious, you could always go look it up. But it's basically an intensive about the law of attraction. A lot of people don't understand what Abraham is. If I try to describe it, I'll just screw it up. But essentially it's something that Esther is receiving sort of vibration from, that is speaking direct from non-physical, from the other side, and sort of letting us know a little bit about how this reality works and what the goal is. And very similar to Neville Goddard's message, actually, but stays away really from the Bible and God more, I think, because it's just become such a charged conversation, but completely about, manifestation and us being creators of our own reality and how we do that. And we basically do it through feeling. Well, your feelings are a sign. They're a result of what you're creating. So if you have good feelings, you're creating good things. If you have bad feelings, it's a sign you're creating bad things. That's all bad feelings are. You're just attracting unwanted things to you. And it's such an interesting study about our emotions and what they mean, and our thoughts and how powerful they are, and that they are creating. Ideas are creative and become their own vibrational thing. So if you have a thought, it goes out and it continues to think. It has a consciousness to it, and it attracts other thoughts to it. And it's a fascinating study, but it's really just about law of attraction, which is like the law of gravity that says, all things that are alike are attracted together. And I love it because it's such a consistently positive message. It's so positive. And how is it positive? It's positive in the sense of, not in like a woo-woo, stupid, fluffy, but in the sense of that everyone has the power to create their own reality. Everyone is creating their own reality. And while it might not always look nice or good, it's creating expansion at all times that is benefiting all that is. And that's a strong message of hope, in my opinion, because it's really easy to get caught up in negative thinking, and we don't realize that negative thinking creates a negative world. Or fearful thinking creates a scary world. Violent, angry thinking creates a violent world. Character assassination and hate and rage and all of those things really contribute to an environment that isn't what we want. And we don't realize we're creating it. We don't realize that happy thoughts, joyful thoughts, peaceful thoughts, and feelings create a peaceful, joyful world. It's also got so much hope to it around death, and that there is no death, that you're just going to sort of change form, or you leave behind your physical form, and then you go to everyone, not some people, everyone crosses over to the other side and experiences a complete release and freedom, like everybody goes to heaven. And that we come back and just continue to play this game, and that there isn't any evil from a divine perspective. All divine forces and energy is good. But every thought that's ever been thought in the physical world is still here. And as a creator, if you want to live in the lower vibrations or feelings of, depression, worthlessness, anger, rage, you can create things that might be interpreted as evil. And since they're always living here, people can tap into that and experience that, but that doesn't mean it's from God. God is only love, so it matters how much you pinch yourself off and how much time you spend sort of around darkness, feeling darkly, you're going to start to attract dark things. So, but it's literally just like the relationship between light and dark. Like you turn light on, darkness vanishes. There's no fight. Darkness is just gone. But in the absence of light, darkness becomes more prevalent. So, but we are light and we are love. But the deepest message about it is that everything's okay, that everything's working out for everybody. Isn't that a great message? And while that can seem really not true in certain cases when we're looking at people, places, and things, when you begin to understand that there's a vibrational reality, the kingdom of heaven, which Abraham calls the vortex, but kind of this beautiful place where everything is that we want, that we can pull forth into this world. It's about what we choose and where we vibrate with, that we get things that match where we're at. But there's no judgment. There's no old dude in the sky saying you get this and you get that, and attempting to be judged, or you have to earn love, or if you have to earn being good, or you have to earn your way back to heaven. And we kind of like that game here, I think, because when you say life is just for fun, there's a certain purposelessness feeling to it, an emptiness, especially when you're used to like, I need to save the world or save people or save myself or, whatever it is. And to learn that all of that is a bit made up is a lot. And to try to shift from, I need to save the world to this is just for fun is a strange process. It's definitely strange, because one feels like a much grander purpose, but there's much more peace in the idea and happiness potential in the idea that everybody's got it themselves and they don't need anything from anyone else. You can't really help anyone. That's part of this message. You can't save anybody. But yet nobody needs saving, because we're eternal beings and you're totally safe. You can't die. Your body you might leave behind in the physical reality, but the reality is physical reality isn't reality. That's what you learn. There's a vibrational reality. The non-physical is actually the reality. This is the illusion. And this is sort of like a game we've built. And it's so silly that we've built this game, and you can come here and you can be a powerful creator and a powerful attractor, and yet we come back again and again and just don't get it. We live miserably. So apparently, though, even if you live miserably, your inner being or your spiritual self still gets the expansion and the good juicy stuff from this life. You just don't get to be aware of it or experience it because you're living maybe in a bit of misery, but that doesn't change what's happening for your inner being. And that every difficult thing that happens to us manifests or causes expansion in all that is in a beautiful way. And I just find that to be so hope-filled, that message that we're all achieving what we're supposed to when we're here. Nothing is futile. It's always adding to, even when it looks or feels futile here. There's just a really incredible, beautiful message to that. And Esther's relationship with Jerry after he's passed brings so much peace. Today there were a lot of questions around death, the other side, some wild questions about angels and dragons, and I don't know that those were super helpful, but I find it very intriguing, especially since the lady brought up people having pain in their neck and back from having angel wings, and that an angel wing removal session with her helped, which I found really odd, because there was a time when I had this therapist that convinced me he didn't convince me. I guess I was open to it, that I was a reincarnated archangel. Totally normal. But it served me for a while. I really believed that, and I felt like I had like these angels with me all the time, and what Abraham said is that's just ways of interpreting spiritual vibration. Or ways of interpreting non-physical energies into the physical. And so we all have different viewpoints. And if it works for us, it works. So there's such a lovely message about peace. I mean, there was so much about reframing fear and efforts. It was just really soothing. And it's always soothing, but I realize more and more that this is something that is so powerful, but also so positive, that everything's okay. Everybody's got themselves. You don't need to save anyone. God's always good and loving. You have all the power you need, all the ability to attract what you want. You know, today I even wanted to ask her about having a baby, if it was possible for me, but then I thought, I know what she's going to say. She's going to say, yeah, but you got to get over your resistance because you think it's not. And it ain't going to happen as long as you feel that way. It's funny when you're in a session, if you ask questions, it's kind of like you keep getting the answers in the sessions while you're with her. It's fascinating. So even if you don't get on stage, either someone else gets on stage that asks a similar question, or it just starts to come to you really fast. So anything I was thinking, and I like raised my hand to go up there, but then it kind of ended up being like, I'd get the answer. I'm like, well, now I know what she's going to say. So what's the point of going up there? But so much about connecting with your own inner being, translating information and how it looks and feels differently to each person. But I love that Abraham doesn't get too far into anything like weird or woo-woo, and just offers helpful advice. And I keep getting this feeling like I want to work with Esther. I'm supposed to work with Esther. And then I realized today, well, maybe it's not supposed to be while she's alive. They don't seem to be hiring her into anything I would want to do. Like, I would love to really extract Abraham's business principles. How does Esther do that? How does she grow the business? How does she manage it? But also, I could ask my own inner being, she would probably say, and get the information myself. Anyway, it's been very empowering, very lovely, very fun experience, and we'll see what comes next.